Good afternoon. This is Ty Butler. I'm performing a speech on my case study over the nursing facilities in Amarillo, Texas. Many elders who require assistance enter nursing facilities every year. According to the U.S. Bureau of the Census and a Linda Bretzprack Center of Aging Studies at the University of Missouri-Kansas City, slightly over 5% of the 65-plus population occupy nursing homes, congregate care, assisted living, and board care homes, and around 4.2% are in nursing homes at any given time. Almost 50% of the 95 and older group also live in nursing homes. With this information, it shows that many elders 65 plus live in a nursing facility or require assisted living. The client's name was Milton Jones. He was age 54 and was resided and put into a nursing facility for nearly 2 years. Milton was once a long-haul truck driver for around 10 years, who had an accident during a blizzard which left him with a broken back and paralysis in his lower extremities, which are the feet, thigh, and hip region. After a 6-week period in a rehabilitation hospital, he was transferred into a nursing facility in Amarillo, Texas. Milton rented a home in a small town called Marble Falls, Texas. He really didn't have that much immediate family, and he was separated from his ex-wife, who he really did not have much contact with. Before his accident, he would make monthly phone calls to his 22-year-old son who lived in Dallas, Texas. Milton is a younger man. He's middle-aged. He's around 54 years old. So he thinks that he doesn't really need to be in a hospital he doesn't really think he needs to be in a nursing facility because he is not old enough to be in a nursing facility, even though he has problems. When the patient arrived to the nursing facility in Amarillo, he heard from an eligibility worker about community options that could be possible, a possible option for him, such as like moving out, finding a better home. And around a year and a half later, whenever he was starting to get back to his health, he started asking the staff about leaving the facility, trying to find a new home. It was a difficult task because he constantly needs 24-hour care due to him having paralysis in his lower extremities. One of Milton's friends suggested to Milton that he should speak to the ombudsman from the AAA and the relocation specialist. Within a week, the specialist met with Milton to discuss his relocation needs and to conduct a relocation assessment. The relocation assessment involves personal data, medical condition and professional care needs, previous home arrangements, housing and neighborhood preferences, finances, family support, transportation, public and private support, and assistive technology. Milton made very many requests during this assessment, and mostly they involved his son and his hobbies. He had hobbies such as reading and things like that. A few days later, the caseworker gave him several options that were available, such as the CDS and the SRO. Milton chose the community-based alternatives, which is known as the CBA, because it offered everything that he needed. Because of the limited resources for housing assistance, it took several months to find housing needs that suited him. Finally, he found an apartment that suited him that met all of the requirements. On the relocation day, his specialist met with him. When he arrived at the apartment, he realized that he had many groceries and clothes in his already apartment. The DADS manager and home health made sure he had personal assistants, and they were required to report and work weekly and daily. One day, his assistant failed to show, and Milton ended up having many problems that day. Milton woke up and wasn't feeling that great. He felt very dizzy whenever he was trying to enter his wheelchair, and he ended up having to lie down. He panicked until he remembered that he had an ERS device whenever it contacted his downstairs neighbor and the home health agency as like kind of a backup plan. 5 minutes later, the neighbor entered his room and addressed herself and made sure that Milton knew that it was her. And then the next thing you know, the agency worker showed up, and then finally his attendant worker finally showed up. He filed the complaints, and they filed a complaint for the home health agency that never showed up. The lady his caretaker never showed up, so they filed a complaint. And over the next 3 months, Milton will receive visits from a relocation specialist, and they will constantly talk to him on the phone if he ever had any problems with anything in that matter. In conclusion, Milton was able to move and get out of the nursing home. Though he had trouble with the moving process and his nursing assistant, his case manager was able to supply Milton's needs. All of this information was pulled directly from the case study of the nursing facility. Thank you.